It's the comic book Blerd. Who? What's going on, internet? Damon here, aka the comic book Blerd. And with Jeff Lemire's The Century coming out this week, along with the Fantastic Four coming out in the next couple months, I thought I'd make a top 10 video about characters, teams, titles that need a relaunch. Well, I was going to do 10, but then I realized I only got 5 to talk about. So here are 5 teams, titles, and characters that deserve their own book. Marvel quit playing. DC, give that boy that book back. Coming in at the number 5 spot is The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man launched in the middle of 2016, back when Doc Ock was running around in Peter's body. The book follows the new Sinister Six, trying to make it in the supervillain industry: Boomerang, Beetle, Overdrive, Shocker, and Speed Demon. One of the things that made this book so good was that it wasn't your household supervillain name. These were very much some C, D, and F listed supervillains, and they acted like it. At one point in the first issue, Beetle robs a comic book store. A comic book store, really. This book was so good that it was planned for 12 issues, but eventually ended up with 17. And I think a lot of that has to do with how human the characters were. They were human and they were believable. And on top of that, the book was funny. It was straight up hilarious. Not everything has to be dark and grim all the time in comic books. So, Marvel quit playing and get that boy that book back. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Alec Holland, aka Swamp Thing. Back in 2011 or 2012, whenever the New 52 launched, one of the books that I picked up was Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing. And boy, that book was good. It was during this time that Scott Snyder was writing both Batman and Swamp Thing at the same time. And yeah, I'll say it, Swamp Thing was better than Batman, in my opinion. But seeing Swamp Thing learn and connect with the Green was so dang cool 5 years ago, or 6 or 7 years ago, couldn't get enough. He developed and evolved, and eventually at one point he got wings. Swamp Thing with wings. With the wings. But there's so much stuff you can do with Swamp Thing in the Green, and I know he's gonna be in Justice League Dark, but DC, get that boy that book back. Coming in at number 3 is my favorite character of all time, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. Now, the last we saw of Bucky was in Tales of Suspense. Black Widow gave him a note saying that she needed to meet him somewhere, or that she needed him or something. But this just tells me that it's not a matter of if, but when Bucky Barnes gets his own book again. What makes this character so interesting is that he's still trying to redeem himself after all his murders. And again, there's so many different things and so many different angles you can take with this. And I think we all know eventually Bucky's gonna be Captain America in the movie. So, Marvel, quit playing and get that boy that book back. Now, please. Number 2 goes to Marvel's probably 3rd favorite god, Hercules. Now, if I'm not mistaken, his last solo book was back in 2011 or 2012, written by Greg Pak. In this book, Hercules lost his powers, but he was still whipping tail. Dude was taking out dudes on the subway, dude in the street, and even a new hobgoblin. But the dude's tough, he's funny, and he's a veteran Avenger. What more could you ask for? Plus, Greg Pak is still with Marvel, and he writes like 1,000 books for him, so Marvel, quit playing and get that boy that book back. And the number 1 spot goes to Buddy Baker, aka Animal Man. Again, when the New 52 launched, along with Swamp Thing, one of the ones that I picked up was Animal Man. I thought it then, and I still think it. Animal Man was the best book in the New 52. Jeff Lemire did an awesome job with this book, as he perfectly balanced horror and action. So, Mr. Lemire, even though you work for like 7 comic book companies right now, stop what you're doing and please pitch a book back to DC about Animal Man. But seriously, I'd like to see Buddy Baker and his connection to the Red. I want to see him interact with other characters like Beast Boy and his connection with the Red. It's been a few years and I'd like to see this guy come back. So, DC, quit playing and get that boy that book back. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, consider leaving a comment or hitting the like button, or maybe hitting the subscribe button. If not, that's cool too. I appreciate your help regardless. Peace and much love to you.